Oh, I see. Get a life. Okay. I never thought of that. There's no relationship. Just, well, the relationship is the Doug Lee, the head of creation or something like that at Epics, wanted to call it Get a Life. I actually didn't want to, because I thought it smacked of disparagement. But he insisted, and it's his money. So we called it Get a Life based on the sketch and the book, and so there is a relationship, but it's far-fetched.
Just titular.
Go ahead. You took a breath.
I did.
You took a breath, and the question caught in your teeth.
It did.
Yeah.
All right. So, well then, if it's not the same kind of more disparaging tone, then what exactly is Get a Life going to focus on?
You haven't seen it?
Not yet.
Okay. So, for the book, I asked myself that question: who comes to Comic-Con? Who comes to the Star Trek convention? And so I did my due diligence by doing interviews and with people, and discovered some fascinating characters that are in the book, and concluded that they are there to see each other. And instead of coming to see the actors, whichever all the actors thought they were doing, they were coming to renew old friendships and old acquaintances and things like that. So, okay, that's an interesting conclusion, and that was the conclusion of the book. When I decided to try again, I was able, maybe by the dint of being older or by luck, I came across other answers as to why people dress up and come to Comic-Con and are potentially the source of jeering. And the conclusion that I come to in the documentary are cultural and sociological, and are on a far deeper basis than the fun that they're having by dressing up and coming here, putting on a Klingon omelet.
Mr. Shatner, what was, I saw Captains and absolutely loved it. What were surprises for you for Captains, and then of course surprises for Get a Life that you didn't expect to find?
As you guys are writers and story followers, expositors of story, you go after a story and you ask questions, and suddenly that question leads to another question, which leads you to another person, and you're writing your story. I don't know how frequently in writing a news story the news person wants to go back to a previous interview that they had based on new information. What did you do? But you can't go back, so you wish you knew when you had the interview what you know now, that sort of thing. That's what I realized. I began to realize as I made my documentaries, that's what I was doing. And I couldn't go back because I couldn't get them back on camera. And it was I've made 4 or 5 documentaries now, and I realize it's about the third day when I'm thinking, what am I saying? What's the story here? And about the third day, I get the story. And then you begin to, like I'm sure it has all happened to all of you, oh, that's what that guy is about, or that thing is happening, or that's why Cruz broke up with Holmes. That's the story. But you don't know. So making the documentary is a journey of exploration. It's a journey of surprise. Everything becomes a surprise. The surprise in Captains was how much I started with the premise we had a lot in common, but I didn't know what. That was the idea of Captains. And then as I began to do these interviews, and they began to talk to me in strange and wonderful ways, I became enamored of the whole thing. And that's what's happened here. People talked to me and why they came. And then I found really intelligent, knowledgeable people, far more than I, and I came across the ideas, the mythological ideas behind what's happening here this weekend.
Question. So Leonard Nimoy, he wrote a book called I Am Not Spock, and then several other books, and then I Am Spock.
Yes, he changed his mind.
Right. So was there anything similar, and did that impact or affect your role in the documentary and why you wanted to do it?
No. I'm a newsaholic. I love watching the news. I love the stories. I love the human history that is exposed on CNN and C-SPAN and all that kind of thing. I love the humanity behind what's going on, the discovery of that. So I love the concept of making documentaries, but what was I going to make a documentary of that people would buy? So faced with that, the marketplace and the curiosity, I was able to combine both the first time by making a documentary about Star Trek. Now they see I can make a film. I'm getting more. My ideas are being met with more approval. I've got a couple of docs in the pipeline. For example, I went to the Xena convention. Who goes to the Xena convention? One, but do you know who goes to the Xena convention? Huh? Yes. but this is an all-male table, see? So we kind of got, hey, later. But it's people in need, people who are so needy that they cling to each other because of the mutuality of what they are, what they do, so it's a love fest. Intellectual, maybe physical, but certainly there is an embracing by like-minded people. That's what I discovered. And it's a fascinating, I'm editing it right now. It's a fascinating documentary of people who, they're not really on the fringe of society, but this all-male table had a hearty laugh. And that's what I'm discovering. It's like, it's joyful.
I was going to ask you, Mr. Shatner, you've got a kind of another career now, the last couple of years of doing documentaries and specials, like How William Shatner Saved the World, this great documentary. And now you said you're doing your own now. Do you find that much more fun to do than an acting job, where you have a little more control? It's almost like directing your own film.
Yeah, yes, exactly. It's like directing your own film. What I have found is the best way to do this. Like, I'm working on a project right now. I can't tell you about it now because I'm in the midst of discovering whether there's a story there or not. But I'm discovering that the way this type of documentary works for me is that it's my discovery, and I'm on camera discovering, so you, the audience, discover with me. And I don't want to be in it, but it seems to demand that I ask the questions and I'm on camera asking the questions. This latest project, I'm saying, should I be on camera? I don't want to be on camera, but it doesn't work without my being, because you'll hear my voice or you'll hear somebody asking a question. So I've got to be on camera. So I'll have a camera on me, but tracing the subject as much as I can. So what I'm doing is I'm looking into their eyes, same as you guys, looking at whoever you're interviewing and getting nonverbal language as well as the verbal language with which you translate. If you're writing a good story, you translate their words and their actions and you interpret it and make the reader sort of get inside.
Any chance of ever getting a director's cut of Star Trek V with the extra special effects done?
I would love to do that. I broached that subject years ago and they laughed me out of the set, off the studio.
All right, guys, we're gonna switch now. We gotta switch.
All right.
What? I'm just getting acquainted.
Nice to meet you, sir. Thank you very much.
A pleasure, guys. Fine.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the film.
Absolutely.